Once upon a time, about 75 years ago, the new thing in music technology was the theremin, the world's first electronic musical instrument. Invented by the Russian physicist Leon Theremin, it promised music from the ether. Simply wave your hands in the air and out comes a beautiful melody. Anyone who could whistle a tune could play it, the ads promised. However, for most people, an encounter with a theremin is closer to a Jerry Lewis comedy routine. Because the theremin creates an electromagnetic field, any body movement within that field creates sound. A skilled player can manipulate that sound, controlling pitch, volume, even the vibrato.
Some people actually consider it to be the most difficult instrument of all instruments to play, at least to play well.
Scott Marshall, who makes his living repairing old clocks and antique television sets, has been enthralled by the theremin since childhood.
I don't remember ever not knowing about the theremin. I must have seen it maybe in the 50s when it was featured on the Mickey Mouse Club. Maybe I saw it there. The 1994 documentary Theremin, An Electronic Odyssey, rekindled his interest, so he decided to teach himself to play on a theremin he built from a mail-order kit. This is a modern version of it. The original used vacuum tubes and was fairly large. This is a transistorized version designed by Robert Moog, who invented the Moog synthesizer. The theremin consists of two antennas, a pitch antenna here and a volume antenna here. These knobs set the frequencies of the oscillators inside and allow me to change the tone.
Most people know the sound of the theremin, if not the instrument itself, through Hollywood. It was a staple of sci-fi movies like The Day the Earth Stood Still, It accompanied Ray Milland's DTs in The Lost Weekend, and Gregory Peck's insane dreams in Spellbound.
I was dealing to him, and I turned up a 7 of clubs.
It has a very eerie sound, and that's partly because it's a little bit off-key, also because you can have that exaggerated vibrato, and that sounds kind of eerie, but also it's because it's kind of human-sounding. And the idea of a human sound that's always playing, that never needs to breathe, is fairly spooky. You could just say that could be the sound of a ghost.
Perhaps that's why the theremin never really took off as a concert instrument. Its great champion, Clara Rockmore, the undisputed virtuoso of them all, died in 1998. Rockmore was revered for her accuracy, her phrasing, and a technique she called aerial fingering.
The standard technique is like this. It's called the chicken peck technique. And this is a technique that was used in the Hollywood movies from the 40s and 50s that used the theremin. And it's one of the reasons why it has that particular sound. But it's harder to play music with that. It's hard on the wrist. And since I've been playing piano for 45 years, I think of low notes as on the left and high notes on the right. So I play like this. I almost visualize a piano keyboard over the box. Because it's so hard, because it's so difficult just to hit a note, you end up playing only slow music. You very rarely play any music that has fast notes. And it's just so all-fired hard to play that takes some of the fun out of it. But every once in a while, a phrase of music just comes out so beautifully, and I go, wow.
Ironically, the theremin may get a new life through today's new thing, the internet, where a virtual community of theremin enthusiasts is thriving in cyberspace. And what better home for an instrument that promised music from the ether? You never know where the next new thing is going to crop up. In the late 1950s, it was in New Brunswick, where an informal group of artists was making a new kind of art, including happenings. They saw it as play, but it revolutionized